Damn, we didn't think about that.
But I think we're in there, but I think it's just cut off because his screen's in there. Yeah, because like.
Nah, I think the way it's shown. Oh, well,
yeah, there we go.
We can do it that way too.
That's right. All right, we on. We in there. All right, my man. So you in Rio, huh?
I'm in Salvador right now. I just left Rio last night.
Oh, you in Salvador? Okay.
Yeah.
So how did the Rio trip go?
Man, I'll be back there in about 2 weeks, but Rio was cool, man. I went to so many different places. I was with my homie, so he's actually Brazilian. So he took me all over the place. So I was like moving with the local. So it was dope.
That's what's up. What side of town did you stay on?
Man, I was staying in Ipanema.
Okay.
I was staying in Ipanema.
Okay. And this was your first time, right?
My very first time. Yeah.
Okay. My boy, he's actually has a channel himself. Great Space.
Okay. What's the channel?
Great Spaces TV.
Great Space. Is that on Instagram?
It's on YouTube, Instagram.
Great Spaces TV.
Yeah, Great Spaces TV on YouTube. On Instagram, just Great Spaces.
All right.
Yeah.
I see you right here. Okay, bro. I'm gonna hit you with a quick follow.
That's what's up. But yeah, he's actually headed out to Brazil himself.
Okay, when you headed out here, bro?
I say 6 weeks. I'm gonna go to
6
Miami.
weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to Miami first, and then after Miami, I'm gonna head out to Brazil for my first time.
Okay, dope. Headed out to Rio?
Rio first, Sao Paulo, Brasilia,
okay,
Bahia, and then I'm gonna try to hit some hidden gems that like people never, because for my travel channel, I want to try to hit.
There's a lot, bro. There's a lot of hidden gems. Trust me. Jeez, it's crazy. I've seen so many places, and I'm like, man, I could be out here for 6 months.
Easily,
for real.
Easily, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, I might actually. I'm trying to extend my trip right now. So,
how long were you planning on being out there?
I was really. The funny thing is, because they had like that. COVID started going crazy, and they were locking down. So my boy, who's Brazilian, whose family lives out here, he was like, "You should probably just chill in Colombia because there's no reason for you to leave all this freedom in Colombia and come be locked down in Brazil." So I held off on 2 weeks, pushed it back to maybe like middle May, and then because I was supposed to go to Peru, but Peru keeps updating the restrictions about what countries they're about allowing Brazilians in or people from Brazil. So it's set for May 23rd, but I may need to push it back another 2 or 3 weeks. My flight.
You're back, which ain't gonna be a bad thing.
No, heck no. It ain't gonna be a bad thing at all. Not at all.
That's a good problem to have, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think like citizens can only be here for 90 days without having no issues.
True.
So what I'm saying, I'm about to be like in the 50s. So I want to make sure I just want to make sure I have no issues whenever I leave, because I want to be able to come back.
Exactly, that is true.
Yeah.
But was it still locked down when you left? Like when you left Rio?
Like literally, I got here like April 4th, and like the lockdowns were April 4th was Easter Sunday, so the lockdowns were easing. Then everything opened back up like the 9th or 10th. So I mean, the beach was still open, but yeah,
the beach was open. Like
the beaches
capacity.
Nah, it was like everyone was just kind of there. Nobody was enforcing it. And it wasn't until like recently when you start to see like all the bars and all the things on the the normal, like what you would see normally.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So did you hit up Bara while you were out there? Baja?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Barra de Zuka. So I can't say it right. But it's like a 30-minute ride from Ipanema. It's like a really ritzy suburb in Rio.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Ritzy, because I thought like LeBlanc was the most ritzy spot.
It's like neck and neck.
Okay, then
I would say neck and neck. Well, LeBlanc's probably a little more expensive, but it's
yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. The reason why I said that because they have a little bit different laws in that part of town, so you can find some spots that are open.
Okay.
My bad. I should read some. Okay. Cool. My bad. But no, man, that's what's up though. So what we got? Is it Brazil or is it Colombia? Which one's better?
Oh, it depends on the category, my guy.
Okay.
It depends on the category.
We'll start PG.
First timer. Where should I go? Brazil or Colombia?
How much time do you have?
3 months. I'm working remotely, so
Brazil.
I got 3 months.
Brazil. And that's hard for me to say, but Brazil.
Mm-hmm. 3 months, yeah, for sure. So much more
Brazil.
to see.
Much more to see, yeah. If you got 3 months, no problem, no questions asked, Brazil.
Brazil.
Hands down.
Okay. So scenery. Okay, it's nature scenery.
Dog, Brazil. Hey, hey, show me a better spot in the world. You might be hard pressed, honestly.
That's exactly
what I'm saying.
I mean, bro, beach after beach. I mean, you'll go to one beach and be like, yo, this is my favorite beach. The next beach, yo, this is my favorite beach. I mean, like, beach after beach. I can send you some videos I took. Did you ever hike Pedra de Gavia? Did you ever do that hike?
Say it again.
Gavia? Pedra Gavia, Gavea.
Is it on top of a favela?
Overlooks one. That one is Luis Miles, like two others. I'm gonna try to send you. I'm gonna try to send you a pic.
Okay, yeah, send me a pic. I did Two Brothers. That one was intense.
Yeah. So this is another one, but when we talked about scenery, I'm talking about, bro, crazy scenery. Not only with the beaches, but I just did like a 6-hour hike on Sunday. Crazy.
Yeah, I gotta take the drone.
That ain't no joke. Oh yeah.
You got to. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's a must.
That's a must. Yeah. And Rio, bro, honestly, the most beautiful city I've ever been to, by far.
Man.
By far. I literally cannot think of anybody who compares. Like Santorini, Greece, it's not as pretty as Rio. Like it's insane, man.
Really, honestly.
So we got the scenery question out for nature, right? Well, what you got next?
I guess all right, so I'm touchdown, my first time in Rio. So what do I do? I'm into nightlife. I'm an architect. I'm into architecture. I'm into cultural stuff.
Okay.
Good eats.
Okay. So I'll say for the nightlife ain't popping right now. If nightlife is up on your list, try to slide to Colombia, because I mean, as of when I was just out there last, it was like 2019. Yeah. So I mean, if you try to do the nightlife thing now with architecture and scenery, Brazil hands down. I mean, I didn't really see it much in Rio. Like I wasn't like, oh man, super impressed with like the architecture there, but maybe more so Sao Paulo. Yeah, more so Sao Paulo. And here in Salvador, because there's like a strong African tradition. It's like, different things like that. But I didn't really see nothing like architecture worthy within Rio, honestly. But like mountains, beach, and nature and stuff like that, if you into that, then for sure that. Then you said architecture, scenery. What was the other one?
Just like cultural things, like cultural experiences, like here in Mexico City, I did I got in a hot air balloon. We flew over.
Yeah.
It's like a
then I would definitely for Rio cultural experiences. They have like markets. I'm in Salvador now, so I'll maybe have more of an opinion about cultural experiences. Yeah. A lot of the stuff in Rio, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you had to kind of go outside of Rio to get, I think cultural experiences. Honestly, I didn't really. It seemed like, like it just seemed like an American city in a way, like shops, restaurants, and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't really see much, strong cultural experiences.
It's like the LA of
South America. Absolutely, yeah.
Without a doubt.
For real.
He was like suggesting us to stay at a LeBlanc right off the beach.
I mean, if you want to feel safe and feel cool walking around at night, then LeBlanc, Ipanema, Copacabana for sure. Yeah. And then you can easily walk to all these other locations. And there's so much to do within those neighborhoods when it comes to like food and different things like that and beach. But I mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Okay. Speaking of food, Brazil or Colombia for food?
Man, shoot, Colombia.
Okay.
Because I like. Well, here's the thing, and I'm just basing this off of Rio because I just got to Salvador and had some dishes here. I'm just like, because they got those, African spicy dishes, so that's kind of what I like. I say Colombia just because I like fried fish, coconut rice, and different things like that. In Rio, it was like a lot of like burgers and steak. They eat a lot of like meats like that. So I mean, just like I feel like it was like regular food that we would probably eat in the States, like burger, steak, ice cream.
Exactly. Nothing.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah, nothing too super crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I outside of like Peru, I haven't been to Peru, but I love Peruvian food. I really can't think of too many places in South America where I'm like, oh my God, the food's absolutely amazing. Like I'm typically, that's one of the things I don't push too heavy is the food in these places. But
Salvador though, man, I had this dish last night.
It was good.
It was this fish dish in I'll get the name here in a second. It was this dish, super spicy. I'll even try to send you a picture. It was legit. Yeah.
It was legit. That's what's up.
This food's been better so far in Salvador than Rio, based on my liking though.
Yeah, I think just based off the culture, I would expect that.
For sure. That's a fact. That's a big fact.
I will read this question. We got Captain Say. I
ain't saying nobody. Better stop.
I would just say Captain. I was about to read that all the way through. I literally just found your channel 1 hour ago. This is lit. I appreciate that, bro. Mexico has wonderful architecture and culture to explore. That's true. This guy is an expert at the Mexico architecture. He's actually an architect by trade. So I'm gonna let him explain a little bit about what he's seeing. And to let y'all know, I'm currently in Mexico City.
That's what's up.
Days. So hopefully we'll be able to get some decent content for you all.
Yeah. How long are you gonna be out there for?
At least a month.
Okay.
Month. Well, Mexico. I'm gonna hit up Tulum here in a bit, but I'll be in Mexico for
I heard Tulum is going crazy. Everybody is there right now.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Tulum.
Everybody in America. It's not
everyone has like either been to Tulum or is in Tulum. My boy just moved there for like 6 months.
Yeah,
bro,
that's crazy.
Wow.
Somebody's going to Rio.
All right, Tulum is another story. Have you been to Tulum?
I haven't. I've been to Mexico City, but I haven't been to Tulum.
Okay,
but actually, you know what? You said what, bro?
No, go ahead and finish.
What was that?
No, I was gonna say, what did you think of Mexico City?
I was only there for like a long layover, so I was actually thinking about maybe December this year because I'm going to Mexico for a wedding to just make a stop in Mexico City for like 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe just stay there for the month. So I don't have much experience in Mexico City.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm still pretty fresh myself, man. Been working more than doing anything else.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that content though.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Appreciate that. So we got Kenneth, what's good? Does Rio have typical indoor nightclubs and lounges, or do they just party outside?
Both.
So yeah, definitely both. It's honestly the most live city I've been in my entire life. There's just literally no city that can.
I heard of Mabs.
No, Mabs. It's a club.
It's like a restaurant, like lounge.
Okay, I haven't been.
That's what I heard.
It's probably live.
Yeah, some YouTubers actually did it.
Okay, but no, it's so for indoor parties or like clubs and stuff like that, you're gonna be in a typical Ipanema, LeBlanc, those type areas. But for outdoor parties, I actually enjoy going to the favela Rochina. So those tend to be very good, laid back. Nobody's out there trying to, flex or whatever. People just out there having a good time. So I enjoy the outdoor parties in the favelas more than, let's say, an Ipanema or Copacabana, like that. So, but definitely you want to go with the local if you do go to the favelas, just because. Yeah. But typically Rochina, that one's pretty chill. It's pretty commercialized. Like nobody's gonna really look at you too funny because they see a lot of tourists coming in and out. So So we got next one. William, heading to Rio tomorrow. What nightlife and food spots do you guys recommend? So I'm gonna let you answer that one, Wall Street. Which food spot?
You said his name is Kenneth or Ken or what was his name?
This one.
William.
Yeah.
William, to be honest with you, as of right now, there really isn't much nightlife going on. Things are just to be honest, things are closing around 11. You may find a little spot, maybe open a little bit after that, but there's not really much nightlife. There's no 2 a.m., 3 a.m. activity, just to be honest with you right now. Food spots, again, it was very, very general. So it depends on what you like. There was a place called Malta Beef or Malta Meat or something like that, a pretty nice steakhouse that I went to. Where else? And then there's, again, like he was mentioning, there's a lot of little cafes on the street that, people drink a lot of beer, a lot of light beer, and then, again, fries, rice, and different things of that nature. Again, a lot of it's, typically the same. So I would say research what you're looking for and then kind of go search for it, because there's a ton of food spots, but to me, they were all generally the same.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
And another question.
So next question we got from Carpin Snell. How far are you from that train accident that happened last night? So I heard about that. I was actually, did you hear about that?
Yeah.
That actually looks scary.
Yeah. So honestly, where did that happen at? I don't even know.
I'm still not familiar with Mexico City yet.
Yeah.
It's so big that I don't know what the proximity is.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I actually haven't read into it either. But yeah, it seems pretty. Was it like did they say it was?
It was like, pretty crazy, man. Like 20 people died.
Oh, 20 people died.
A lot of people got injured.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I did not realize that.
Some people were like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not taking no trains or anything like that.
Exactly.
I'm taking Ubers. That's it."
Exactly. Especially not in this earthquake-ridden city.
Oh yeah, that's why the elevators, like architecturally in New York, we always have these elevators that we scope out and they take forever. But in Mexico City, one of the things I noticed, the elevators, man, they be picking up fast. And I was like, oh, I know why. I figured it out, because when they have earthquakes, you got like 40 seconds. If you're in a penthouse, you got 40 seconds to get to safety. So these elevators be picking up, man. And I'm like, I know why.
Yeah.
So,
it's an interesting city all around. Like the climate,
mm-hmm.
it's I don't know what to compare it to, because it's not hot, it's not cold. It's just like it's not sunny, it's not cloudy. It's just like, I don't know. It's a middle ground city. But appreciate the question, my man. Let's see. Watch, I think you got a question. If there is a major market correction, as has been predicted, how do you think this will affect us brothers traveling abroad? This is to you, Wall Street. Carbon Snell asked you this.
A major market correction, meaning like our currency, our dollar, or what is he implying exactly?
So, Carbon, are you speaking about the currency or more so like the stock market?
Can you repeat the question one more time? Let me make sure I fully understand it.
Yeah, it's actually stock market.
Stock market.
How do I think it will affect us brothers when it comes to traveling? The stock market? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you make money off of stocks, if you're living off of like dividends and things of that nature, I think that would affect your finances regardless, whether you're in the States, whether you're traveling abroad. What I will say is that the dollar is stronger than ever in South America, in places such as Colombia and Brazil. Like right now, like the dollar is like almost 6 reais or reais. So, it's like 5 point something. Typically in the past, it's been like 3. So, you put that into perspective. And then also there's a lot of people who aren't traveling right now. So flights are a lot cheaper and, there's more places to stay and people are giving you discounts for long-term stays. So, I mean, all in all, if you are able to travel and, you have let's say a nice amount of savings, or let's say you're working remotely and you're still receiving your income, that dollar is stretching right now. So again, but if you're living off your dividends and the stock market is fluctuating, I mean, I don't think it is. I think the stock market is, kind of stronger than ever at this moment. But if you're living off of dividends, I would just say again, it would be the same as if you weren't traveling. Again, your income's going to fluctuate regardless.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I see a lot of people, especially a lot of guys that are traveling, especially the brothers, are doing that forex trading.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you know much about that, Wall Street.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people ask me if I do that. But that's definitely not my forte. But what about crypto?
I mean, I'm actually been doing some reading into it, and just trying to see, trying to get in where I can fit in, because I think it's more than a trend at this moment. I think this is something that's going to be around for a very, very long time. It was going to play a more prominent role in our society, especially when you see companies such as Tesla and many other companies accepting that as a form of currency. So right now I'm just trying to really educate myself on it, like not only how to buy in, or also how can you generate wealth from that, really. So I really don't know much about it. I'm in the early stages of my own research. Oh yeah, and side note, I sent you a DM with the hike I did, just to see if you've done that hike.
Perfect. Check it out.
I got a question. Let's say language wise, like, what's the percentage of meeting somebody, and let's say like I meet like 5 people. What's the percentage of speaking English versus Portuguese? Like, would I be struggling? Do I got to bust out my translator everywhere I go?
Man, dog, yeah, I don't like the Hey, you gotta be a real one when you bust out the translator. That's the guy Tariq. But
oh man,
I can't luckily for me, like I've taken, several years of Spanish, and I also lived in San Diego. So my Spanish is very conversational. But here in Brazil, again, I was with my friend who's Brazilian, who spoke Portuguese, so that helped. And I can, I understand the language and the sentence structure. Let's say 5 people. I'd say you might be lucky if, like, I'll say maybe 2 are conversational. I think most people who I've met have known some words, but only some have been like conversational. So occasionally you may have to bust out the translator, but I think like fully conversational, maybe 1, 2 if you're lucky, honestly.
That's about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in a club tonight, and this is the first club I've been to in Mexico City. I was so happy in a nightclub called Muse, and it was like a secret spot. So we finally got him in because he was somewhere else, and on my company here. And I'm looking at him. He's with this Mexican girl. I'm like, they going back and forth on the phone. I'm like, yo, what are they doing?
Talking about chopping it up.
And I didn't put it together that they was using a translator.
For a good like hour almost, bro. Just back and forth
for a hot minute.
Hey, hey, honestly though, here's the thing: the chicks, the ladies, excuse me, not chicks, these ladies, they're down to do it, man. But like, honestly, bro, I'm gonna tell this to everyone who's watching, or for anyone, at least for Spanish, the Portuguese is difficult for me at least. But luckily, at least for Spanish, it's worth it to take a class or 2, because trust me, your experience can be that much better if you're at least conversational. That's just my 2 cents. So.
Exactly. I definitely gotta get to that level, man.
Yeah, man. Trust me. It's a whole nother ball game. I promise you.
Exactly. So do you see it helping you with your Portuguese?
Yeah, a lot of the words are similar. Yeah, but it's just the pronunciation. So whenever I've learned words and learned phrases, it's just been easy. It's been easy for me to pronounce and different things like that. Again, because I have been speaking Spanish for quite some time. But yeah, I mean, it's still difficult. There's still like certain phrases or certain words that I struggle with in Portuguese, just because I was so used to saying certain things in Spanish.
Okay. So what if a guy, right, he's in between going to, these are 2 completely different countries, but Brazil or Australia, right?
Okay.
And he doesn't speak, he speaks English, but he doesn't speak Portuguese. What country would go to?
You know what? I haven't been to Australia, so I don't know. I think it depends on what type of experience you like. So let's say we talking to the brothers in the chat or whatever. Man, if you come down here to Brazil, I mean, to me, you're gonna feel like you're missing out on part of like your home, your culture. I mean, that's just what it's felt like when I've seen like the diversity, right? Like I don't think Australia is as diverse as Brazil. So if you're looking for like diversity, like some rhythm, some dance, and different things like that, I would say Brazil. Australia, I heard, is like really similar to America. So if you just want like a safe American experience, then head over to Australia. But if you're looking for something completely different, yeah, I would say Brazil though.
So what if it's their first time ever leaving the States, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend them going to Brazil? And would you recommend them go alone or with people?
Whew, man. I mean, what's made my Brazilian experience what it was is because I came down here with a friend. And my friend also spoke Portuguese. So he made a lot of moments easier for me and, kind of eased me into the experience because I was able to take some cues and learn some things from locals. So again, that's what's changed my experience here in Brazil. So if you can, I would say at least go with a friend at least, so you're not out here, super alone. I would have came here alone, but luckily my friend was already down here, so I linked up with him. But if you can, I would recommend going with a friend if you can.
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that because a place like Brazil, if you don't know the language and it's your first time traveling, you could find yourself in some trouble.
Stuck.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy place to maneuver without knowing the language because most people don't speak English. So I definitely I agree with that. Go with somebody. I love to travel alone, but if it's your first trip and it's not going to like Western Europe or somewhere like that, you need to go with somebody.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. So how safe did you think Rio felt? Or comparing it to, I'll let you answer that, then I want you to compare it to Medellin.
Yeah, the thing about Rio, I could tell that I was in I was like in a ritzy area once I got settled and we went outside and everything like that. I was with my friend and we were like 2 blocks from the beach. I was like, okay, like, they got like, fancy Oakley shops over here. I'm like, okay, so this is a place where people have money and stuff like that. So I felt pretty safe. In Medellin, for the most part, I felt safe once I recognized what neighborhood I was in, right? I felt slightly safer. I felt slightly safer in Rio than I did Medellin because there's just a lot of like dark, a lot of dark neighborhoods or whatever. So, but Medellin, I felt pretty cool. But like, if you're gonna go to Medellin, make sure you research what neighborhood you're staying in. There's like Envigado and a few other ones that are cool. So just make sure you research, what neighborhoods you're gonna be in and whatnot. But I felt a little bit safer in certain parts of Rio.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that. Rio gets a really bad rap. But it all depends on the spot.
Rio's also pretty big though too. I mean, it depends on where it's huge.
Exactly. Certain parts of the city feel like a completely different country. Right?
Exactly.
So the places that we're gonna like tourists are gonna be staying, it's not a problem. Generally. Obviously things happen, but I never felt unsafe in Rio.
Absolutely.
Not once. So what would you say is better what do you like better about Colombia over Brazil? Like, what would you say?
Let's keep it real. We got to keep it real. Again, from my experience, since I'm at least conversational in Spanish, it was just easier to interact. It's easier if you're trying to like meet someone and stuff like that. I felt like the vibe is way different in Colombia as opposed to Rio. Now, again, that could be because I'm conversational, so it's a little bit different. So I think that's where Colombia slightly takes the cake.
Okay.
And whatnot. Then also, I think with Colombia, well, maybe because things are also open too, but they just seem like they were just ready to get more active. Like they just seem ready to go.
Okay. Like ready to party.
Man, they seem ready to party, and even and then to answer my guy's question, he was talking about like meeting people and stuff like that. It's like you don't even have to it doesn't seem like you have to beat around the bush. You can be like, hey, let's go here. All right, it's just like straight to the point. There's you don't have to do all that. Hey, let me try to get to know you. Nah,
So you're saying this in Colombia? In Colombia?
Yeah, Colombia. Yeah, you're just straight to the point.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That is true about Colombia. Yeah. I'm not going to elaborate, but yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
I'll tell you what. There's a reason why. Let's see. Let me check out some of these questions. Let's see. Major global economic in the region.
Yeah, make sure you guys get the likes up on the channel.
Yeah, go ahead and get those likes up. Appreciate it.
Go ahead and plug my little page too, Wall Street. Also,
oh yeah,
I'm not advertising nothing, but yeah, go ahead and we can all connect one day. That'd be dope.
Oh, for sure.
Like even on your channel, I'm in marketing mode.
Yeah, okay, smart.
You got it.
Send those chats in. Get those likes up.
All right, let's see. So if there was a major global economic depression come 2023, what region of the globe would you brothers like to ride it out, I'm guessing, for a couple of years? So me personally, Eastern Europe or like Russia. Those type places to me, they've been through communism, they've been through stuff that we haven't in the West. So to me, they're a little bit more prepared to withstand times like that. Whereas, especially in the States, we're very entitled and come from a very entitled environment. So to me, we wouldn't know how to handle.
Their minds.
Yeah, we would lose our minds in the States, Western Europe, places like that. So Eastern Europe, without a doubt. I'm actually looking towards that way in general because, like I said, they experience things that we haven't. So, and what I see going on currently in our society, we tend to be going towards a direction that I'm not supporting, whereas places like Eastern Europe are going towards a direction that the U.S. used to be. So East, I'm looking East, essentially.
Yeah.
No. We'll go ahead next.
What's that?
So
are you going through the questions already?
Yeah, so he asked pretty much if a Great Depression hit in 2023, what side of the world would you rather be on?
Jesus Christ.
It's a
serious question.
It's a deep question. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Probably Scandinavia, like one of those Scandinavian countries like Denmark, Copenhagen, Sweden, or like Norway, because they're so super independent and it's so small that they got everything under control. They got a tight government, they got a tight social structure. Everything is buttoned up like a tight, boat. So when shit hit the fan, they're good, man. I remember when I used to live in Sweden for 6 months, and this is during the time when they had the refugees from Syria, and they were all like going towards places for solitude and refuge. They were going to Sweden, and they were taking care of them, and it was like no problem.
Yeah,
it was like, I will help you out. We'll take care of you, and it was just like easy, easy transition for them to slide right in. But they had a cap on it though. They didn't let like a whole bunch of people in. Copenhagen were really tight on that. They didn't let a lot of people in. And a lot of other Scandinavian countries were like, hey, we're doing this. Why not? So that's what I'm saying. Like they really they like kind of like Germans, where they really control by the book, regimented. So I would go there for sure. Plus, because it's a great time too. But.
All right, Wall Street, what do you think? What region?
Yeah, in terms of economics, you're right. Maybe Eastern Europe or maybe, like you said, those Scandinavian countries could be beneficial. But I think also during the economic depression, a lot of people don't consider your lifestyle too. So, I mean, for me, if I were to write it out, I personally would say South America, just because, again, I would hope the dollar would still be strong. Even though we're going through economic depression, the dollar would still hold some sort of value, within this region. And then also, life is pretty simple here. You can walk everywhere. You can, there's still markets and different things like that. So again, I would just, during the economic depression, I'd want to simplify my life, not have this and, kind of remove the things from my life and just go back to the basics. And I think in like South America, again, people live a very simple life. They don't have a lot of things, you know, they walk everywhere. They go to the market, you know, they hang out with their family. So I'd want my life to become simple and then, you know, be able to write it out that way.
Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
The happiest countries are what? South America, right? Like
I would think so.
Latin America, like the happiest people in the world or something like that.
I would think so.
Possibly, yeah.
Scandinavia.
Is up there. Yeah, they're up there too in their index. Yeah, I've read that in their index. Yeah,
but I know Finland has
like Norway and stuff.
No, Finland has the highest suicide rate.
Yeah, because it's like it gets dark really early. Like apart from the summers,
it
gets dark really early, and they take like vitamin C, vitamin E.
Yeah.
It gets dark at like 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. And they lose their minds in the summer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll live there in the summertime for sure.
There is high suicide rates there though. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No, good question, man. I like that. That's a great question.
Yeah, that's an excellent question.
Let's see. So we got, what's the next one? I got my Portuguese up, hired an online tutor. There you go.
Okay. You ain't playing games.
Oh, no. If you can afford a plane ticket and an Airbnb, then you can afford hiring an online language tutor or a language book. Yeah, that's true. I definitely, I think it's just a time commitment. That's like my problem is it takes time to learn a language. And like for me, for example, if I'm not speaking it every day, like if I'm not just constantly around it, I'm gonna forget it. Like I could study for a couple hours a day, but if it's not all day, I'm losing it. Yeah. It's definitely a time commitment for sure. So how do you get women in Brazil? If I can't, should I go?
What did he ask?
You know that's coming.
He said, so pretty much he's asking if he should go trick in Brazil.
Why? Look, I'm gonna tell him like this. Hey man, do your push-ups, drink water, eat fruit, get your mind, body, and soul and spirit right. Trust me, bro. Have more confidence in yourself. You ain't got a trick down here. He's tripping.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that Brazil is the one place like that. It shouldn't even be a thought. It shouldn't even be a thought. Like the culture is just extremely different.
Yeah,
accept the it's just more accepted, right?
Yes,
it's just more accepted, and I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it, but just know it's way more accepted there. So it's not gonna be as hard as where you are currently. Guarantee it.
Yeah. Tell that brother to come down with more confidence.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. That's all it takes, man. At the end of the day, man, it's all about confidence. Not about how you look, not about how much money you have. It's all about confidence.
There's no flexing.
No flexing. Yep. So we got next question. We got I think that the stimulus is a major factor of us heading into the one they can only print so much. Yeah, so regarding the printing of money, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years, because there's certain places like China I know who are not printing money as much as like Europe, the States, and stuff like that. So I really see China being a huge competitor in the next couple of years because they are essentially doing what the US used to do, right? Pure capitalism. When businesses were failing, they let them fail, right? They weren't just giving them stimulus checks like we're doing here in the US. So we're keeping things afloat that shouldn't be afloat. So that's why my confidence level in the West is plummeting because we're essentially putting more money into the system, but we have less services. Everything now in the US is very inefficient. I have an Airbnb business. So a lot of things I do involves like needing physical labor, needing whether it's buying new products, getting things fixed, et cetera, et cetera. And I can tell you ever since COVID, everything is a hassle because people are staying home, collecting a check. And even though the income levels in the United States has gone up, people are technically have more money in their pocket, we have less services. At the end of the day, it's not about how much money you have, because you could be a billionaire on an island, but what does that mean anything? What does that mean?
Not a
A billionaire on an island? Absolutely nothing. So that's the scary part, is the encouragement to print money and for people to stay at home. So that's a political rant that I won't go into. But, let's see.
Foreign policies.
Foreign policies.
Yeah, I know.
So I heard, what do you say from Tony? I heard Colombia is hot right now. Wait for some things to calm down before going. Huh. So what do you mean by that? It's hot right now in Colombia.
Protest.
Oh, it's protesting for what? What's going on?
The president proposed like a 20% tax hike on April 28th, and the country just went crazy.
Everybody.
Yeah, so they just had like maybe like I think 20 or some people died due to like the military and different things like that. Yeah, Colombia is. I mean, they've been protesting there all week. In Cali, like a few civilians died. Yeah, it was going up. It was going crazy right now. So
okay, so SOS, is that what people are posting?
I
saw somebody from Colombia posting or something on their story. It said S.O.S. Is that something to do with the protest? Does that mean something?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of different posts, so I don't know the exact meaning of that. But again, for all my Colombian friends, yeah, it's been, yeah, I just look at kind of all their stories and everything like that, and there's just been a ton of protests. If you go, like, I follow Reuters news. If you go to any news world, BBC, whoever, I mean, you'll see Colombia right there in the headlines. Just a lot of severe protests. So yeah, I would say, yeah, maybe depend on the city. But yeah, I would say kind of maybe chill out on Colombia for like, kind of give it a week or two, and let's just see how this plays out, because they reversed the proposed tax.
Oh, so they reversed it. Okay.
They reversed it, but yeah, there's still a lot of uproar about some other conditions.
Okay, that's good. Wow, I didn't know that. That's good to know. All right, so we got tips. So tips for dating in Colombia versus Brazil. Is it really that much different from the United States?
Oh my! Is he black? What is this? What's Buddy's race? What?
Yes, I sure do. 200. Man, it's another world, man. It's like it's another country. Not another country. Yeah, another planet, I should say, between the United States. Me personally, I prefer Brazil, but Colombia is just as good in a sense of just how you're treated. You're not. How would you say we're treated
in America?
Yeah, compared to. What's the word?
I don't really know much about Brazil.
Oh yeah,
but I just think that like the whole aspect of dating, it could be like an interview process. It could take the informal and put the formal into it unnecessarily, and just that social structure of dating. Like a lot of, like, for example, like Scandinavia, like when I first came there, I asked this girl on a date, and she's like, date? Like, we don't date out here.
Yeah, we don't date. We
just, you hang out with friends, and then you have fun, and then you see if you want to date the person. Oh, I call it date. Exactly. So it's like opposite. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what it's like in Brazil, but like I feel like it's regimented, it's too systematic in America, where it's just like, it's like a program, and it's kind of the freedom of thought is taking out of it, like the whole organic process of like just having fun. Like when I saw him on YouTube, I didn't go to him and ask him interviews. I didn't interview him. I was like, I just wanted a business partnership with him, but we ended up being friends organically.
That's dope.
And it was like that just happened, and I think that's the way it should happen. Like. Doing relationships with male and women, men and men, or female, whatever the case may be. And I think it takes that out of it. I don't know how it's like in Brazil, so I'll find out though.
What you think, Wall Street?
Okay. Yeah, well, it's way different. Again, I lived in San Diego for a number, like it's way different. I lived in San Diego, and like you said, like it just seems like it's like you're playing, not necessarily playing games, but it's like you have like a 2-week conversation just to finally hang out for like an hour and a half or something like that sometimes, right? But don't get it wrong, I dated women in the States, so it's been fine. But I feel like, here in Colombia and Brazil, it's like there's never been an instance where it's like a bunch of back and forth. Like they're like, yo, let's hang out. Like sometimes they're like, they act like I'm playing games. I'm like, I just started talking to 2 hours ago. So nah, man, it's a world of difference. Like they actually want to hang out. They want to be around. They want your attention. They're not gonna, and they don't make it feel awkward. Like, oh, we just met. Sometimes when you meet some of them, it's like it feels like you've known them forever, for real. So yeah, it's a million times different. They want to hang out. Like that's part of the culture, is like hanging out, being outside, not all this texting back and forth.
Yeah, you rarely get asked, "What do you do for work?" Too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like the first or second question in the U.S. Oh, so what do you do?
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah. Where do you live? What do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah, they're not worried about none of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's more about who you are. So next question. Okay, so the questions, a comment. Is Rio a lot more expensive than Medellin, or is the cost difference of things not too bad? From my experience, From my experience, I think it was fairly similar. I didn't notice too much of a difference. In Medellin, I was able to find cheaper spots because I ventured out a little bit more in Medellin than I did in Rio. Typically Rio, I stay in the Empanadas, Leblons.
Yeah.
Besides when I go to the favela, but in Medellin, I went to like the center. The center in Medellin is extremely cheap. Like I was for like $1.25.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you definitely can find, I think, more spots in Medellin to where you don't have to go to places that are too, out
absolutely
there, right?
Absolutely.
And for cost of stay, it was a little bit cheaper in Medellin than Rio for Airbnbs, I would say.
Yeah.
For Ubers, about the same. Drinks, about the same.
Yeah.
So, and obviously the flight, if you're coming from the States, is going to be cheaper to Colombia.
That's true.
So I would say overall, Colombia will be a cheaper trip than Brazil, but it all depends. And it's the time too, right? It's
exactly
flight from the U.S. versus Brazil as well. So what you think, Walt?
Yeah, I'd say that about the same. One thing people need to also realize is that Rio has hosted like World Cups and Olympics and stuff like that. So people have really invested in like remodeling their apartments. There's a ton of restaurants in Rio, and Rio is much bigger than Medellin. So a lot of times the prices will be just a tad bit more expensive than a place like Medellin. But again, like the nice thing about like Airbnb and stuff like that, you can always kind of compare what the costs are. But yeah, Colombia for the most part is generally less expensive than here in Rio. But again, like you said, you can find meals for like 10, 12 bucks, $8, like, and eat real good. So it just depends on what you're really going for. Fancy spots that could cost a little bit.
Exactly. Yep, that's very true. I agree. So next question. Okay, another question. China's rise will be short-lived. They aborted too many of the females. They have a huge male-to-female imbalance. So that is true. But one of the things that, if you look back to history of kind of how U.S. got to hit its status, China eventually is going to get to that as well. They're going to start. More foreigners are going to want to move there as they gain economic dominance, as education, all that stuff improves. People are going to start moving to places like China. So even though their population right now, technically in the next couple of years, will be at a disadvantage, I think the influx of people that they're going to have is going to help keep them afloat. Because at the end of the day, they have people in power that know what they're doing. They weren't voted in because of the way they look, the way they sound, because they are voted in because they know what they're doing. So China is doing a lot of things right, and the U.S. sees it. It's a reason why both Trump and Biden are both extremely tough on them, not because we think they're not a threat, but They see what's going on. The stuff they're doing in China, it's insane. The way they built the hospital in 7 days. I mean, I could barely get a package in 7 days. So,
man,
I order a I had to buy a stove the other day. They said 6 weeks to get a new stove. Like, they're building hospitals in 7 days.
Yeah, with the wrong stove too.
Exactly. And then at the end of the day, a lot of stuff comes from China. All these products, they're building stuff there. Whereas in the US, we're mainly about services rather than actually creating stuff. So I think that's coming back to bite us. We saw that with Corona. A lot of our medical equipment was made in China. I think it was like 90-some% of the medical equipment is made in China. So just think of that. Like, just think of China said, nope, we're not going to give you anything. We're not going to build anything else for you. They could just, so like stuff like that, back in things that the typical person doesn't pay attention to, China kicking our butt, absolutely kicking our butts at. So yeah, that's my rant on China, US. Let's see. So we got next. We got the dollar. How many gold chains should I wear when I'm down in Brazil?
20.
0. Don't be a target. Chill out. People always trying to flex. Leave that flex in the United States, bro.
Yeah,
they're not playing games down here.
Yeah, that's Miami stuff, man.
Yeah, just be careful, man. Like that here, you don't want to be a target in a place you don't know the language. Relax.
Yeah, exactly. And the demand for dollar will continue to increase with hyperinflation. So the demand for the dollar is actually, well, it depends, right? The demand for the dollar has went down. If you look at treasuries, China is actually our largest treasurer in the world, and they slashed. I forgot the exact amount, but they slashed the amount they brought in this past year tremendously. So if you look at that type of things, you'll see the demand for the dollar is actually going down. But the fact that the dollar also against like major currencies like the euro and stuff like that has went down a little bit, the conversion, that has also helped the dollar in a way stay in demand, because anytime the dollar gets weaker, more people buy into dollar denominated debt. So the mixture of China, places like China, whatever, not buying as many treasuries, but the fact that the dollar's currency has went down a little bit has kind of kept it afloat. But most people are starting to move away from the dollar. If you look at China, Russia, they're trying to trade oil within their own currencies. If you look at the Belt and Road Initiative, they're not going to be trading in dollars once they get that finished. So that is going to put a lot of pressure on the dollar in the next couple of years, because at the end of the day, the reason why the dollar is so strong is because it's the reserve currency. And as these players start figuring out ways to not use a dollar, it's so that's why I recommend guys look into real estate overseas, look into starting businesses to where you can make money in multiple currencies, because you never know at the end of the day what's going to happen in the future with these currencies. Let's see. Foreign strategy. I got to go, brother, but I've been a long time subscribed. Appreciate you, Carvin. Appreciate you subscribing, and good to see you. Good to hear from you, and definitely check in next time and holler at your boy sometime. Any safety tips for Rio? What you got, Walt? I would say as a safety tip, just be street smart. I mean, at the end of the day, just if a place looks like you shouldn't be there, if you're the only person that looks like you that's around, I would probably not be in that location. But if you stay in the typical Ipanema, LeBlanc, Copacabana, those type areas, you're not gonna have any problems, right? And if you have any problems, there's gonna be a lot of people around. So
exactly,
you shouldn't have any problems at the end of the day.
Try to move in groups. Don't try to wear gold. Don't have your phone out in the open or in your hand. Try to keep your phone in your pocket, because you will get that phone snatched. Yeah, try to move in groups if you can. Like if you're staying in a hostel or anything like that, again, try to go out with the hostel friends, come back with the hostel friends. Try not to be out too late by yourself, and just kind of be aware of, how you could contact the authorities. And then also one thing I recommend, keep copies of things like your passport, your ID, like, keep like paper copies. I wouldn't walk around with that documentation. So, and just stuff like that. And like you mentioned, just be aware of your surroundings. Just be, super aware of your surroundings. If you don't feel it in your gut, maybe just, just hang back and chill then.
Exactly. And it's all about your stature too. Like look with your the way you look, like your face. Don't walk around smiling, looking goofy, whatever. Like if you walk, like if you have like a serious face and you look, you're walking like like you can defend yourself, people are not gonna mess with you. All the people I know who've been like robbed or whatever overseas, they just give off that like very non-intimidating vibe. So so just honestly, you need to look like you can defend yourself, if that makes sense. Like, that's what I try to do. If I ever feel like I'm in a certain area where it's not very safe, like I put on I have like a very serious look, certain way I walk, certain way I stand, just to make myself seem a little bit more, So yeah, good question though. Where are any safety tips? Which do you think is better for living and dating, Medellin or Buenos Aires? Oh man. Have you been to Buenos Aires, Wall Street?
No, I'm going to. Once they allow visitors, I'm there.
Okay. So I made a video about Argentina recently because there's a lot of incorrect information out there on.
I saw that one.
Yeah, it's extremely wrong, right? Buenos Aires, honestly, it's neck and neck with Rio. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Neck and neck with Rio. And I would say Buenos Aires, if you go based off of how they look and you're basing the interest I get based off of how they look versus each other, Buenos Aires wins. But what I mentioned in the video, where it does not win, is that it's complicated. You're gonna get some complications there. But that doesn't mean they're not interested in you. Because like I said in the video, when somebody's making is being complicated, that means they're actually interested when they're complicated. But they're just putting on this whatever show or whatever. So a lot of guys coming from the States might not want to deal with that because they already deal with that back in the States. So that is true. So and that's my whole point of making the video. It's like, this is what it is. Like, yes, you're gonna get interest, but you need time. Places like Medellin, you like Walt started off the conversation with, like when you go to Colombia, they're not putting up all this fight. They just want to have a good time. They want to get to know you. That's the complete opposite in places like Buenos Aires. Complete opposite. Like they're gonna want to like ask you more questions before you go on a date. They want to know more about you, stuff like that, before they accept the date. And once you get on the date, they're gonna still, they're gonna just test you. They're just gonna keep testing you. But if you're a type of guy that has the time and you're good with women generally, Buenos Aires is an absolutely amazing place. Like, I'm actually considering living there for an extended period of time.
Oh wow,
that's how much I liked it. It's an amazing place, but it's not meant for everybody. I would say a place like Rio is meant for more people. More people will enjoy their time in Rio than they do Buenos Aires, without a doubt. So Walt hasn't been there yet, so I guess we can't comment on it. Let's see what we got. If you had to pick one city in the world to settle down as a single man, what would it be? What would you take out?
One city in the world to settle down as a single man?
Yeah, that's good.
Dang. To settle down as a single man, one city in the world? I'm thinking he's trying to do what single men do. You might have to come to Brazil. But if you're fluent in Spanish, I would say Colombia. But if not, then go to Brazil. I would say Brazil. I would say Brazil.
Brazil.
Mhm.
So, I would say either Rio or
Rio.
or I'll be making a video soon. I'll be going here. Going here soon. But Kiev, Ukraine.
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 That came out of left field. Okay, I'm waiting for that video. Send me that.
Yeah.
We need more details.
More details. So yeah, those would be my top two
Okay.
for right now.
That's real.
But let's say Scandinavia is up there.
Okay.
Scandinavia is up there. Cost of living is a little more expensive. So reasons that's why I chose Ukraine, because Ukraine is dirt cheap, and to me it's comparable to a place like Sweden or Australia, places like that.
Yeah.
This is the Australian guy right here.
Okay, yeah. That's what's up. That's legendary then.
So what would be your number one city?
Number one city?
Yeah, just
as a single man.
Single man. Oh man. I'm gonna say Australia.
What city? Sydney? What city?
Melbourne.
Okay.
Because I'm a city guy and I'm used to the city. And it gives you everything that you need. It's metropolitan. It has a nightlife scene. It has a lot of culture. The food is incredible. And then like you would think that it's like homogenous where it's just like only Australians, but no, you get like African Australians. You even get like Finnish Australians. You get like it's like if you go to Sweden, you think you can just see blonde, blue eyes. It's not like that. You get people from all over the world. There's a big African population there too.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's what's up then. Okay.
Yeah. They actually have a place called I think it's called Mr. Africa or something Africa, where they have like all the barbershops. And
okay.
Unfortunately, every time I've been to Australia, each time was like a month. And on my second stay, I found the African spot on the second to last place, and I was like, of course. I found gravy at the last time. Yeah. But it was some really gorgeous African Australian women out there. Like I was like, wow, like were they like hiding all of them in Australia or something? So yeah, it was crazy, man. It was just like, it has a nice beach culture, and then like they're spoiled like weather-wise because it's hot all year round, and then when it's cold, when they think it's cold, it's like 50 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit, and I'm like, that's not cold.
That's
like,
great.
That's come from New York. Like we in the negatives sometimes. We like,
absolutely
tens or whatever. That's cold. So they're like so spoiled that. I say the only caveat is like it's some days you might get like 4 seasons in one day. Like it might rain 1 second, it might be sunny 1 second, and then it might be foggy, and you'd be like, what?
Yeah. It's like the Midwest. It's like living in the Midwest.
Yeah. But like Melbourne, it's incredible. They speak English. You don't have to worry about learning another language. The economic structure is very strong there. They have like the CBD, the Central Business District. It's amazing. The architecture is incredible. They have like incredible buildings. I love it when I go there. I always discover new architecture. I'm an architect.
And the price he was showing me Airbnbs there in Melbourne, and they cost relatively the same of what I'm paying here in Mexico City. So,
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's not as expensive as you expect. Like when I hear Australia, I think, oh my God, expensive, but it's not too bad. Yeah, from what he showed me.
You get luxury prices for like cheap. And then it's not a place where it's easily accessible. So if you're like a brother, you probably like you see probably like a few other brothers there. But like most of the Africans, they want to be African American. You're not going to see a lot of brothers out there.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to run into a lot of Americans. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing for you, but
Yeah.
Your field day. That sounds like a field day.
when I go to a place, I want to get away from America. I want to see
Exactly. Why repeat the experience? Yeah.
If I go to Africa, I want to see Africans.
Absolutely.
But I understand that people move and migrate, so there's nothing wrong with that. But that's my take.
All right, so Ben, I'm gonna answer a couple of more questions. Then we got a jet, but let's see. So Oscar asks, from the countries you've been to, which ones would you say is best to find a long-term relationship? That's what I'm gonna say, or a wife. Which would you say, Walt?
I would say Colombia. It just the reason why, because it seems like that's their personality. Like they want to be like kind of like with like that traditional, like what we would maybe consider like the traditional woman. Like they want to like cook and clean and take care of you. Like the culture, like though, like if you ever like go out, like feed you at the restaurant, right? That's a normal thing for them. It's like to literally take food off their plate and to feed you. So if you're into all that type of stuff and like those traditional roles, then like their culture is like more geared towards that. I mean, that's from my experience and what I've seen.
Yeah, I have to agree. But my number one would be Romania. I hit you guys with another curvy, but Romania. But no, Romania. I've actually dated a Romanian girl for almost 4 years, and then after that, I went, visited, and met a couple people, and they're very soft people in Romania. Very soft, very old school, very caring. So it's similar to Colombia in that sense, but it's just something about Romania that really stuck out to me a little bit more. But it's definitely a gem for a lot of guys who are looking to settle down. Places like Romania are not one of those places where you go to just like meet a bunch of people. It's more of a long-term relationship. They expect it. They're not gonna deal with you if you come off as a guy who's just there to meet a bunch of people. So yeah. Whereas in Colombia, you can get a mixture of both. Romania, there's more one way. Good question. So I'm gonna answer 2 more questions. Then we got to roll. Let's see. Are women in Rio open to code approach? Honestly, Malik. I typically don't do that too much in Rio just because of the language barrier. And typically when I go out in Rio, I already have plans. Like I'm already with someone. So I've never been out like to a party or like a club by myself. Only time I'm out by myself if I'm like eating at a restaurant, cafe, then I might talk to somebody there, but I'm never just like on the hunt or whatever. What would you say, Walt?
Yeah, I would think so. But again, my only experience of Rio is during this, pandemic. So I haven't, like you mentioned, I haven't really been in too many environments where you would really see that everyone's kind of already in their groups or, kind of like socially distanced in a way. So I haven't really had much of an opportunity to really do that. But it seems like, from the people who I've met out and about, they seem like they'd be into that. But again, this is maybe check back in a year with that question.
Exactly. All right, I'm gonna answer one more. I think we got a jet, but let's see which one I want to say. So we got which country is best for tricking? Argentina.
Hey, we gotta do better, please. Have y'all not learned anything from this conversation? Gee, y'all gotta do better. Stop it.
I've seen a lot of your videos. You never really talk about that.
Tricking? I've never talked about tricking. Maybe I need to make a video on that.
Hey, how about this? Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah, just the whole video.
Exactly.
Say no. All right. I'm gonna answer Malik. I'm gonna go ahead and answer your last question, the one about women in Ukraine aren't really down for casual dating, are they? Ukraine has a bunch of stereotypes that's very, very old school. That's changing. They're definitely starting to become a little more and more westernized. as the years go on, as well as a lot of people are starting to travel to Ukraine, so things are changing a little bit. So yeah, I would compare Ukraine to a Western Europe country at this point when it comes to dating. I just think that they have a little more options in Ukraine versus parts of Western Europe, just because they tend to be a little more. They care more about them, like they're in fit, they're in shape, they care about their appearance. So that's why I prefer Ukraine over, let's say, England. But yeah, so that's my answer with that. And my boy, Get Mixed Fit. What's up, my man? What's good, bro? Sorry I couldn't make it. DoorDash, Travel Bros, that's what's up. Yeah, bro, I'm gonna holler at you once we get off the stream. No, I appreciate you guys for coming through, for checking us out. Walt,
I gotta get your contact.
Oh yeah,
you got Instagram, right?
Yeah, I just followed you, bro, and my Instagram is Walt Street. So yeah, we can connect and whatnot. Yeah,
Follow you.
for sure, bro. Now this was dope, man. Thank you for doing this, man. We need more conversations like this, for real.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, we have to do this again soon. We'll get more and more people.
Yeah, let's get some more people.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Well, man, it sounds like a plan. Really appreciate that. And to you guys watching, really appreciate y'all checking in. And until next time, y'all take care.
All right, man. Thank you, bro. Yeah, y'all stay safe, man.
Yeah, for sure. You too, man. Y'all have a good one.